St. Joseph and your Fighting Saints. Tonight, we're taking time out to recognize the 6 senior members of our 2024-2025 men's basketball program. We will start with number 25, Gabe Amacon, and his mother, April Amacon. Gabe is in his 5th season as a member of the Fighting Saints program, serving as a student coach and player this year. After 4 seasons of playing, he has appeared in 8 games during that time. Gabe earned his undergraduate degree in supply chain management and is pursuing a master's in business administration. Number 25, Gabe Amacon. Number 21, Aitor Adamatarte, Jennifer Christensen, and Art Campos. Aitor is also in his 5th season representing USF in the men's basketball program in 73 career games with 51 being starts. He has shot .603 from the field and .835 at the foul line, while averaging 12.2 points per game. He's also rebounded at a 6.5 clip and has blocked 50 shots. A first-team academic All-American 2 years ago, he is a 4-time NAIA Scholar Athlete and has earned a bachelor's degree in math and computer science. He is currently working on his master's in business administration. Number 21, Aitor Adamatarte. Romel Davis, and his mom, Lisa Smith, his uncle Junior Smith, and his aunt, Larissa Smith. A transfer from Bakersfield College, Romel joined the program last winter and has started 43 of the 48 games in which he has appeared during that time. An all-conference choice 1 year ago, he's averaging 15.0 points and 4.4 rebounds per game for his career. Romel is a liberal studies major. Ladies and gentlemen, number 0, Romel Davis. Number 14, Ben Potts, his former teammate E.J. Charles and friend Paul Rochen. Ben has also been with the program each of the past 2 seasons, where he's averaged both 4.8 points and rebounds per outing in 32 total games played. Ben, who transferred from Olney Central College, hails from Fürth, Germany. He earned NAIA Scholar Athlete status this year as a psychology major. Number 14, Ben Potts. Number 12, Don Jokum. His wife, Mia Jokum. His mom, Jennifer Jokum. His brother, Dakota. And his sister, Deja. Don has been with the Fighting Saints each of the past 3 seasons after transferring from Olive Harvey College. He's made 43 appearances in a USF uniform with averages of 4.6 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.0 assists per game. Don is majoring in liberal studies. Ladies and gentlemen, number 12, Don Jokum. his St. Francis career. In all, he has made 7 appearances with 5 being starts. Jalen is a recreation and sport management major. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Jalen Renard. One more round of applause for our 6 seniors. Number 25, Gabe Amica. Number 21, Hector Anatarte. Number 0, Ronald Davis. Number 14, Ben Fox. Number 12, Don Chokum. And number 1, Jalen Renard.
Calumet Collegiate Athletic Conference matchup between the visiting Crimson Wave of Calumet College of St. Joseph and your Fighting Saints. At this time, let's introduce our starting lineups. First, for the visitors, the Crimson Wave. Senior guard number 5, Colby Wiggins. Graduate guard number 11, Zion Morgan. Graduate guard number 23, Scott Calumet. Senior forward number 25, Caleb Slowinski. And senior forward number 44, Gregory Matukish. The Crimson Wave are coached by Jason Hawkins in his 3rd season. And now, let's go for your Fighting Saints. A 5'9" junior guard out of Louisville, Kentucky, number 2, Delshawn Sims. A 6'2" guard out of Jordan, Illinois, the senior, number 12, Tom Jr. 6'5" forward out of Miramar, Florida, the redshirt senior, number 0, Ramel Davis. The 6'7" forward out of Berlin, Germany, number 14, the senior, Ben Fox. And the 6'8" forward out of Sartoga, Spain, the senior, number 21, Aitor Alabitante. Your Fighting Saints are coached by Ryan Marks in his 12th season.
Good evening once again from Joliet, Illinois and the University of St. Francis, where the Fighting Saints host the Crimson Wave of Calumet College of St. Joseph in the final home game of the regular season. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for tonight's action as the Fighting Saints try to make it back-to-back wins with one game still to play in the campaign on the road. Calumet has been playing good basketball of late. They come in with a record of 15-10. 10-8 in conference play. Fighting Saints need 2 wins to clinch a conference championship. They'd like to get the first of those 2 today. Ben Fotz on the opening tip against J. Caleb Slowinski, and the tip is won by St. Francis, who takes the opening possession going from right to left. Wearing their home white jerseys, Calumet in their visiting maroon goes from left to right in the first half. A mostly senior starting lineup for the Fighting Saints today as Aitor Alabitante receives the pass in the post. Nice dish to Ramel Davis. Davis not able to finish, but Don Joachim tracks down the loose ball. Joachim Fotz, Alabitante, Ramel Davis, and Delshawn Sims are the starters. Sims is the only junior. That pass is stolen by Zion Morgan. He flings it out of bounds. Starters for Calumet: Colby Wiggins, Zion Morgan, Scott Gowan, J. Caleb Slowinski, and Hervoye Maitunich. Here's Ramel Davis. Davis around the screen, dishes off to Delshawn Sims. Alabitante from the corner launches a 2-pointer and scores. Alabitante, the Saints' leading scorer on the season, averaging 16.4 points per game, has the first 2 of today's contest for either side. Slowinski passes out to Wiggins. Morgan on the wing. Bounces down low. Caleb Slowinski working one-on-one with Ben Fotz. Turnaround, no good. Well defended by the Fighting Saints. Here comes Aitor Alabitante. Off to Davis. Davis slows it down. Sims walks it up to the 3-point line. Bounces to Ben Fotz. Looking down low for Alabitante. Didn't have him. Gave it to Sims instead. Here's Don Joachim. Feeding Fotz in the post. Backing it on Slowinski. Turn around. He goes the other way and can't quite finish. Rebound tipped by Davis. Back out to Ben Fotz, who tries to keep it alive, and the Saints corral it in the backcourt. Possession continues. Pass deflected to Ben Fotz. Nice pass to Ramel Davis. Under the basket, Davis fights it up and misses. Good, tough defense from Caleb Slowinski. Still just 2-0. Slow start to this one scoring-wise. Scott Gowan gives it up. Down low, it's Morgan. Zion Morgan picked up by Ben Fatz, and the Crimson Wave move it around. To the left side, three-pointer from Morgan misses, and the rebound goes to Fatz. Davis, down low, Anabadarte. 2 dribbles, Anabadarte picks it up, skips outside to Delshawn Sims. Saints reset. Anabadarte on the wing, tries the 3, it's an air ball. The rebound grabbed by Colby Wiggins. Senior guard carries it up the floor. Calumet still looking for their first points of the game. Saints defense has been tight early on. Pass to the cutting Wiggins, and he's fouled going up. These two teams typically play at much different paces. The Saints like to slow it down. Crimson Wave like to speed things up. They average 81 points per game. So far, the pace of St. Francis has made Calumet look a little uneasy on the offensive end. The defense of St. Francis has really made them look uneasy. As Wiggins makes the first free throw. First point of the game for the Wave. 17:02 to play first half. St. Francis 21-4 overall, 15-3 in conference. Second free throw misses from Wiggins, and the Saints maintain their lead. St. Francis can clinch conference championship today with a win and a loss from Indiana Northwest. That game doesn't start for another 20 minutes or so we will not know the result before this one. Joachim lobs it in to Anabadarte. Anabadarte double team, keeps it alive, misses the shot. He shook loose of both defenders, had himself an open layup, but he got himself a little bit turned around. Couldn't finish. Don Joachim knocks it off the leg of Scott Gowan and out of bounds. Great defensive play by the senior Joachim, making his first start of the season today. He is, especially of late, one of the top bench performers for the Fighting Saints, but today on senior night he gets his first start. Joffrey Nunnally and Merrick Small began the game on the bench with Joachim and Fatz in the lineup as Ramel Davis looking for Aitor Anabadarte throws it out of bounds. That'll get Joffrey Nunnally off the bench for the first time today, and Merrick Small. Davis and Fatz check out. Just about 4 minutes into the game, our score is only 2-1. Very slow start. Anabadarte got an early jump shot for the Saints, but nothing since for either team. Calumet's only point, obviously, from the free throw line. So they're still looking for their first field goal. Will this be it? It will. Colby Wiggins from the outside. Wiggins has all 4. 32% three-point shooter on the season. He leads the team at 13.5 points per game. Calumet's got their first lead tonight. Delshawn Sims gives it up to Joffrey Nunnally. Back around, Joachim. Down low, Merrick Small gets his first touch of the game. Small working against Lewinsky, fakes, shoots, and scores. Knots it up at 4. Wiggins steps back behind the line, another three-point attempt. Not so good this time, and here come the Saints. Hit the 3 on the last possession, can't make it 2 in a row. Small gives it up to Sims. Delshawn Sims drives up with the left hand, he's fouled. 14:52 on the clock, first half. We're tied at 4. Slow going early on in this one. We'll see if things pick up on the other side of the timeout. I'll be back in just a moment. Tied up early in Joliet.
It's a media timeout.
4-4 after 5 minutes of play. St. Francis just 2 of 7 from the field. Calumet is 1 for 4. Both teams have turned it over a couple of times, so not the offensive start that either team would have wanted. But it's a fresh start. Tie ball game. Saints will get a chance to break the tie from the free throw line. It'll be Delshawn Sims shooting free throws coming out of the timeout. St. Francis, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the country. They're also one of the better shooting teams in the country, period. They've been top 10 nationally in field goal percentage all season. Came into today better than 50% for the year, so the 2 for 7 start is a bit of an aberration. But of course, we're very early, so probably not a whole lot to read into it regardless. I mentioned before, St. Francis could clinch the conference championship with a win today and an Indiana Northwest loss against Governor State. They could also clinch a conference championship with a win today and again on Saturday at St. Xavier. So 2 wins will do it for them. They have a 1-game lead at the start of play today. Sims rolls through the first free throw, 5-4. First point of the game for Delshawn Sims. Second one misses. Connor Casper is in the game for the Fighting Saints. Romel Davis back on the floor. Joe Kim and Anna Bradarte checked out during the timeout. Three-pointer for Gowan misses, and it's out of bounds. Calumet still going with their 5 starters from Jason Hawkins, first year as head coach at Calumet. Technically, I guess his 3rd. He was there 20 years ago for 2 seasons. He's been around the CCAC, a long time at Trinity Christian. Nunnally drives the baseline, kicks it out to Sims. Three-pointer, short. The rebound is grabbed by Majtunic. Colby Wiggins sets it up, gets a screen, rolling to his right. Back to Majtunic, and Majtunic took a little step. Stuttered his feet before putting the ball on the floor. Traveling violation called. Calumet goes to the bench, and they bring in Jean-Luc Wilson. Scott Gowan grabs a seat. Saints looking for an offensive spark here. Nunnally over to Davis in the corner. Sims fakes the 3, gets the defender to blow by, misses the shot. The rebound is grabbed by Slowinski. Calumet wants to run a little bit. Morgan kicks it out to Wilson, and Jean-Luc Wilson knocks down the 3. Second made three-pointer of the game for Calumet. They lead by a deuce. Nunnally bounces to Small. Merrick Small finds the cutting Davis, and Romel Davis is fouled. 2 more free throws coming up for the Saints with a chance to tie the score. 13-17 to play in the first half. Saints come into today's game having won 4 of their last 5. Their only defeat during that stretch 6 days ago. On this floor, a very tough 1-point loss against Governor State. First free throw for Davis is good.
Checking in for the Fighting Saints, number 4.
Calumet lost to Governor State last week as well. They lost 79-76. St. Francis lost 77-76. In both cases, Governor State snapped a winning streak. Saints had won 3 in a row prior to that loss. Calumet had won 6 straight games before losing on Saturday. 7-7, we're tied. Wilson lobs it for Slowinski. Back outside, Jean-Luc Wilson. Wilson drives on Merrick Small, and Small is called for the bump on the floor. First foul on Merrick Small. It's the second on the team. Sean Richardson in at point guard for St. Francis. Quindarius Davis checks in for Calumet. Wiggins loses the ball, but it's scooped up by Majtunic. Possession continues, 10 on the shot clock. Wiggins backs it up to reset, gets the screen, driving on Small, kicks into the corner, open three. Quindarius Davis makes it 3 3-pointers in the game already for Calumet. All of their field goals have come from the outside. In fact, they've only attempted 1 2-pointer. Didn't go. Davis over to Richardson. Back up top, Davis. One dribble, kicked outside. Connor Casper on the baseline. Shot clock running down for the Saints. It's at 6. Nunnally, deep three with the clock running down, and he drains it. Joffrey Nunnally ties the score at 10. He's been one of the best shooters in the country and certainly in the conference all season. 45% from three-point range coming in. And a big one right there for the Saints to knot the score. Slowinski feigns a couple of shots, takes it inside, up with the right hand, didn't get the roll. Offensive rebound, Davis. Davis loses it, and Sean Richardson comes away with the steal. Richardson shovels it back to Nunnally. Saints get their half-court game going. Richardson looking low, pulling it back out to the half-court logo, guarded by Quindarius Davis. Bounce to Merrick Small. Small drives from the wing, leans with the right hand and misses. Rebound grabbed by Colby Wiggins. Good stop from the Crimson Wave coming off the St. Francis steal. Stepping right into a three-pointer, Wiggins misses off the back iron. Rebound grabbed by Merrick Small. There's Casper. "11 minutes to play in the first half. Both offenses starting to get going just a little bit from the outside. Davis keeps it rolling. Ramel Davis, not usually a three-point shooter. That was his 8th made of the season. And the Saints have their largest lead so far in this game at 13-10. They've scored 6 points in a row. Three-point shooting has been key for both teams. 15 of our combined 23 points come from three-point range. Wiggins loses it, out of bounds. That's a turnover. We've seen 5 combined three-pointers made. We've only seen 2 combined two-pointers made. Calumet still hasn't made one, and they've only attempted 2. Nick Nego is in the game for the first time for St. Francis. Jared Hankins checks in along with Josh Morris for the Crimson Wave. Nunnally gives it up to Richardson. He squares it up and knocks down a 3. 3 in a row for St. Francis. They're on a 9-0 run. And Nunnally steps up the defensive game, knocking a pass out of bounds. That'll take us to another timeout. 9:54 to play first half. St. Francis 16, Calumet 10. Saints are on a 9-0 run, courtesy of 3 3-pointers. They missed their first 3 3-pointers. They've made 3 in a row now from 3 different players. Nunnally made 1, Davis made 1, and now it's Richardson. And you could see how much Calumet respects the shooting ability of Joffrey Nunnally, because Sean Richardson gave him the pass looking to shoot. 2 defenders chased Nunnally, and a heady play by him. Instead of jacking up a shot with a hand in his face, he gave it right back to Sean Richardson, who all of a sudden was wide open. And Richardson makes Calumet pay with a 3-pointer, his 11th made 3 this season. So now we've seen these two teams hit 3 3-pointers apiece, and again, just 2 combined 2-pointers made. Those were both by the Fighting Saints, who are 3 of 6 from the outside and 2 of 7 on the inside. Calumet right now 3 for 7 from three-point range, 0 for 2 shooting 2-pointers. So it's an interesting start to this game, but it's good to see the offense start to kick it into gear, because this game was a defensive battle early on. 4-4 at the under 15-minute timeout. Scoring has obviously picked up over the last 5 minutes. Calumet ball coming out of the timeout. They've got 24 seconds on the shot clock. Jean-Luc Wilson is the inbounder, Nunnally guarding the pass. Same 5 on the floor for both teams. Sent in for Quindarius Davis. Davis picked up by Small, throws it off to his left, Jared Hankins. Here's Davis, right down the lane. Davis off the glass and in. Here's your first made two-pointer of the game for Calumet. And it snaps a 9-0 St. Francis run. Nick Nigo bounces into the corner for Casper, back to Nigo. Another guy who can be lethal with the ball in his hands from the outside. He was looking to shoot, defense closed in. Instead it's Nunnally firing the 3 off the mark. Quindarius Davis takes it the other way and backs it up. Wilson to Slowinski. Pull up from the free throw line. Jumper misses from Quindarius Davis. Merrick Small tracks down the rebound. 4-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Small picks up his dribble, gives to Richardson. Sean Richardson drives on Davis, misses the layup. No foul called despite the contact, and here come the Crimson Wave. Hankins fighting down low, kicks it out to Wilson. Hankins step back for 3, short. Small grabs the miss. Richardson flying down the floor, working quickly with the ball in his hands today. It's Nunnally. Bouncing to Small. Back to Joffrey Nunnally. Shot clock at 10 for Merrick Small, posting up on Hankins. Small fires into the corner. Nick Nigo for 3. Well off. And the rebound grabbed by Hankins. Hankins working fast down the floor, all the way to the rim, and he's fouled. Hankins, like a charging bull, grabbed the ball and just stormed down the floor. And he got the contact. St. Francis going through a bit of a scoring lull here. They had a 9-0 run, but haven't scored now in over 2 minutes. During that time, Calumet hasn't gotten much going either, but they can pull to within 1 score from the free throw line. Hankins makes the first free throw, 84% from the line this year. A couple of new big men for the Saints. Aitor Anabadarte and Ben Fatz both check back in. Don Joachim heads to the scorer's table as well, and he replaces Joffrey Nunnally.
Also with the Fighting Saints, number 12, Don Joachim.
Second free throw is good. He made them both, 16-14. First 2 points of the game for Hankins. See if the Saints can snap out of this drought. Nick Nigo gives it outside to Aitor Anabadarte, swung around to the wing. Fatz out to Anabadarte along the baseline. Aitor finds Ben Fatz inside, and he's fouled by Jean-Luc Wilson. Nice find by Aitor Anabadarte, and Ben Fatz get a chance to turn it into 2 points. Fatz looking for his first 2 points of the game from the free throw line. First foul shot is good. Saints are 4 of 5 from the line so far today. Ben Fatz this season, 73%. Second shot is good, 18-14. Saints on top, 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. Doing good work as usual from the free throw line, 5 for 6 as a team. Wilson penetrates. Wilson gets in deep and is able to throw it off the backboard and in. Nice control on that drive from John-Luke Wilson. Don Joachim gives it to Sean Richardson. Nigo on the wing. Bounced into the corner. Anabadarte swings it back around. Richardson finds Joachim. Nigo, three-point attempt, short. Rebound knocked out of bounds and last touched by St. Francis. 6:55 on the clock. Ben Fatz knocked down a couple of free throws on the last possession. Saints, though, still have not hit a field goal in more than 3 minutes. It's been about 3:15 since their last bucket. Very low scoring first half so far. John-Luke Wilson, quick three-pointer off the rim. Sean Richardson just barely keeps it in bounds on the rebound. Richardson working fast, picks up his dribble and gets it off to Aitor Anabadarte. Fatz bounces to the cutter. Anabadarte can't corral it. Knocked loose and stolen by Calumet. Scott Gowan passes into the corner. Hankins back to Gowan. Calumet has not been able to take advantage of St. Francis's offensive struggles. They're struggling on the offensive end as well, right up until then. Scott Gowan for three has his first points of the game. And Calumet reclaims the lead. First advantage for them since it was 10-7. It was about 6 minutes ago game-wise. Knocked out of bounds by the defense. St. Francis ball still. Saints just 2 of 8 shooting inside the three-point arc. And not for nothing, they've missed their last 3 threes as well. Fatz bounces to Nigo. Nick Nigo, a rare two-pointer, and he gets it to go. Nigo's the one guy you don't expect to take a shot from inside. That's only the 14th two-point field goal attempt of the season. But he's usually good. He's 11 of 14 inside the arc. Saved by Gowan, but out of bounds. He was behind the basket, thought he was pushed, didn't get the call. He was able to save it from going out the baseline, but he saved it too high for Quindarius Davis to pull it in along the sideline. So it's out of bounds, St. Francis ball for now. Now the officials are talking it over, and we'll see if there's a change in call. Doesn't look like it. So as originally called, we'll stand here. 5:27 on the clock, first half. Saints by 1. Joachim, down low to Fatz. Posting up on Slowinski. Wraps his way around, flips it up with the right hand. No good, gets his own rebound. Aitor Anabadarte has it stripped and taken away. Jean-Luc Wilson, blocked from behind by Ben Fatz. Saints trying to turn it into points on the other end. Good transition defense from Calumet. Nigo over to Delshawn Sims. Down to the corner, Don Joachim. Joachim gets the screen, curls, fires the mid-range jumper, misses it short. Anabadarte is there for the tip-in. Four points for Anabadarte. And a timeout called with 4:39 to play in the first half. St. Francis 22, Calumet 19. I'll be back in a moment. We've been tied 3 times. We've had 6 lead changes through the first half today. St. Francis has had the biggest lead at 6 points. They're currently ahead by 3 with 4:39 to play in the first half. Romel Davis has a game-high 5 points for St. Francis. Quindarius Davis and John-Luke Wilson have matched them. They each have 5 for Calumet. Saints have balanced the scoring early in this one. Nobody's gotten hot yet, but they've moved the ball around. They've gotten some open looks for a number of different players. Ryan Marks switched up the lineup today, as he's accustomed to doing. A lot of coaches are. They'll start their seniors on senior night. The seniors who got the start today, Ben Fatz and Don Joachim, have played such a key role off the bench, though, that it wasn't just an honorary start for them. They've played big minutes in the first half, though they both check out coming out of this timeout. Slowinski backs in on Merrick Small, misses off the glass. Offensive rebound, Hankins. Hankins back up, second chance, good, and it's a 1-point game. 4 points for Jared Hankins. Delshawn Sims sets it up, finds Nunnally. Nunnally pulls up, bounces to Anabadarte. Anabadarte against Slowinski, looks for Merrick Small inside, and Small misses underneath. Looks like he made some awkward contact with the defender. Threw him off. Into the corner, Wiggins for 3 and the lead. Got it. Colby Wiggins has his second three-pointer of the game, and now he's got a game-high 7 points on the night. 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. St. Francis still looking for that offensive rhythm. Calumet's played him tough. Here's Anabadarte throwing it in with 2 hands. And maybe that'll get him going. Aitor Anabadarte up to 6 points in the game. We're tied at 24. Along the baseline, Gowan loses it, gets it back, and throws it around to the wing. Three-pointer Hankins, short. Rebound grab by Slowinski. Reverse layup is good. Tough play by Caleb Slowinski. First points of the game for him off the offensive rebound. Sims up to Davis. Ramel Davis gets the screen, shoves it off to Anabadarte. This time he goes underneath and lays it in. From the same spot, he threw down a dunk last time he touched it. This time he's able to switch his moves up a little bit. Add to his total, 8 points for him. Merrick Small forces a miss. Here comes St. Francis, trying to break the tie. Ramel Davis to the rim, got it to go. Ramel Davis has 7. Timeout called by Jason Hawkins with 2:12 to play in the first half. Saints have found that offensive rhythm I was just talking about and has eluded them for most of the night. They've made 4 of their last 5 shots after making just 6 of their first 20. So they're starting to turn around their offensive game. Still just a 2-point lead on this plucky Calumet bunch, playing their best basketball of the season late in the year. Jason Hawkins has done a really nice job turning this team around. They were below 500 in conference for much of the season. And we're sitting at just 9-9 overall a couple of weeks ago, and rattled off 6 consecutive wins. Now they're trying to make it 7 out of 8. They trail by 2 as we approach the final 2 minutes of the first half. John-Luke Wilson works inside the 3-point line. Aitor Anabadarte playing up top in the zone defense for the Saints. Down low, Hankins is fouled. It's going to go against Merrick Small, I believe, and that is number 2 on Small. It's only the team's 4th, so no bonus, but it'll be free throws anyway for Hankins. First shot is good. Slowinski checks out. Mike Tunich comes back in. Tie game, 28 all. Hankins has knocked down all 4 of his free throws this evening. Joffrey Nunnally gives it up to Aitor Anabarate. There's Sims on the wing. Davis back to Sims. 10 to shoot. Merrick Small posting up on Hankins. Hankins hits the ground and a blocking foul called. Looked like Hankins was flopping to try to get an offensive foul called. In the process, he's called for a defensive foul, but that's a case where Merrick Small probably would have preferred the officials just let it go. He had no defender in front of him.
Checking in for the Crimson Wave, number 25, J.K. Slowinski.
Delshawn Sims to inbound, bounces towards Anabarate, but it's knocked away by Jean-Luc Wilson. Ahead for Majtunic, and he lays it in for a Calumet advantage. 30 to 28, 80 seconds to play in the half. Saints have had a problem with turnovers in this first half. One right there results in 2 points for the Crimson Wave. Ramel Davis, pull up from close range. No good, rebound Wilson. Jean-Luc Wilson again wants to push it. Majtunic fires it out of bounds. It's an odd-looking pass from Hrvoje Majtunic. Looked like he was trying to find Slowinski cutting to the hoop. He just whipped it with the right hand. And Slowinski wasn't anywhere near it. Final minute of the half. Saints trying to take advantage of a Wave turnover. High posts, it's Small. One dribble, gets to the rim and draws the foul going up.
Calumet College foul number 25, J.K. Slowinski, his first, team's fifth.
First foul on Slowinski. 5th on Calumet. It's a shooting foul. 2 shots for Merrick Small. First one's good. One more to tie the score. 3 points for Merrick Small. (30 to 30) as Small knocks them both down from the line. He departs. Ben Fatz comes in. Bounce to the wing and Gowan. Swung around to the opposite side. Up top, Colby Wiggins. Thought about the 3. Instead, he drives up over Fatz. No good. Rebound grabbed by Anabarate. And the Saints can hold for the final shot of the half. Back and forth first half. We've seen 7 ties, 9 lead changes. And the Saints have the opportunity to make a 10th lead change. Capture an advantage going into halftime. 3 seconds to go. It's stolen away by Calumet. Majtunic gets it up from half court, and it's off the top of the backboard. So the first half comes to a close. Dead even, very appropriately for a half that was played as tightly as this one was. 30 all, 20 minutes in with 20 minutes still to go. St. Francis trying to wrap up a conference regular season championship. Potentially with a win today, certainly with wins today and Saturday, but they've got their work cut out for them in the second half today. Calumet's playing them tough. We're tied. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I'll get you some first half stats, and then we'll get ready for half number 2. 30 to 30 in Joliet. Halftime at St. Francis. The Fighting Saints and the Crimson Wave are both on the floor getting set to start half number 2. Tight game so far. Obviously it's tight now with a 30-30 score, but it has been tight throughout. Saints rode a 9-0 run to a 16-10 lead at one point. That's the biggest lead that either team has had at any point in this game. But we've seen 7 ties, 9 lead changes. The team stats are about as even as can be through 20 minutes of basketball. Field goal percentage, almost identical. Turnovers separated by just 2. Rebounds separated by 1. Points in the paint, just about the same. Points off turnovers, just about the same. Second chance points, just about the same. Everything is so close in this game right now. We'll see which team is able to separate themselves in the second half. I will say this for Calumet. They're not a particularly high percentage shooting team. So even though they're at only 40%, it was a tough shooting half for both teams. That Calumet number is just a few ticks under their season average. St. Francis is one of the top 10 shooting teams in the country. So they're at 38.5 right now. That is a significant downgrade from what we're used to seeing for them. So we'll see if they can turn it around. Individual leaders through one half. Aitor Anabadarte has 8 points and 4 rebounds. Both are team highs for the Saints. Ben Fatz has 4 rebounds as well. Ramel Davis has 7 points. Calumet is led by Colby Wiggins with 7 points. Jared Hankins with 6. Hankins, Caleb Slawinski, and Wiggins each have a team high 3 rebounds. Ramel Davis, 3 assists to lead all players today. Calumet basketball to start the second half. The Crimson Wave are now going from right to left. Looking to break this tie, our 7th of the game. Davis blocks the shot from Wiggins. And St. Francis can instead break the tie. Davis looks inside, instead pulls it to the top of the key, and Delshawn Sims. Nunnally on the wing, gives it to Merrick Small, half the shot clock used up. Small drives left hand, gets underneath the basket. Turnaround, no good with the right hand. Rebound by Calumet. Both teams come up empty on their first shot of the second half. Regular starters on the floor for St. Francis as opposed to their senior night lineup. Here's Zion Morgan, pull up from the baseline, perfect. First points of the game for Zion Morgan, who played only 7 minutes in the first half before giving way to John-Luc Wilson, who played the majority of the minutes. Small makes the catch in the paint. Kicks into the corner, back around. Anabadarte from the free throw line, rattles home the jumper. We're tied for the 8th time. Another double-digit performance for Anabadarte, coming off of a double-double in his last outing in the win over Judson on Saturday. Nearly thrown out of bounds, Wiggins was able to extend the arm to pull that pass in. A little miscommunication between him and Morgan. Morgan pulls up, kicks outside. Majtunic gets Anabadarte in the air. Anabadarte recovers and blocks him from behind. 3-on-3, the Saints slow it down. Sims over to Nunnally. Down low, Merrick Small spins around Slawinski and banks it home. Merrick Small puts the Saints in front. His second bucket today. Colby Wiggins backs it up to half court. Wiggins directing traffic, gives it to Scott Gowan. Gowan, stop in the corner, jumper misses, rebound Anabadarte. Conference leader in rebounds this year. He leads the Saints again today. Merrick Small along the baseline, picks up his dribble, looks for help, finds Delshawn Sims. Bounce to Small. Sims gets the screen, crosses over, passes to Ramel Davis on the wing. Davis drives, draws the foul. Can't finish, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots. Nice drive, Ramel Davis. Davis had a little problem with turnovers in the first half. Otherwise, filled the stat sheet pretty nicely. He's up to 5 assists for the game and a block shot to go along with his 7 points. He can extend the Saints' lead here, and he does. Eight points for Davis. St. Francis trying to create a little separation, make it a two-score game here with 17:21 to play. It's a little bit of separation. 36-32. Not much, but it's been a rarity in this game that either team has had the ball and not had the chance at least to tie the score with the ball in their hands. Biggest lead for Calumet has been 3. For St. Francis, it's 6. Morgan, Nunnally slaps at the ball. Morgan still in control, able to fire it out to Wiggins. 7 to shoot. Wiggins drives right side, step back jumper. Nice shot from Colby Wiggins. Little fadeaway from the baseline. He's got 9. Calumet keeps it close. Nunnally to Davis. Bounce down low. Aitor Anabadarte takes the contact and scores the bucket. Aitor Anabadarte, chance for 3. Anabadarte wearing the face mask today after he was hit in the nose last Thursday night. The injury does not seem to have bothered him at all. Came back for the second half maskless in that game and put up one of his better halves of the season. And then had a double-double with 24 points on Saturday against Judson. Although maybe it's messed with his free throw shooting as he misses from the line. He's at 12 points. Wiggins, open 3, off the rim. Majtunic with the follow, draws the foul. That's a tough fall from Majtunic. We'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots here. Hrvoje Majtunic from Croatia. Senior for Calumet. Came into today averaging 7.9 points per game. That's number 3 in this one. Back to a 1-possession game. 38-36 after the 2 free throws. Full court press from Calumet. Well, 2-point lead is much more familiar in this one. That's where the Saints have been for a lot of the night. Davis works his way inside, misses the layup. Rebound grab by Slowinski. Morgan steps inside the 3-point line, kicks out. Wiggins from the corner, drives, floats and misses. Rebound tracked down by Nunnally. Wiggins set up a good look for himself, not able to knock it down. Small, fakes right, drives left, and gets poked from behind. Foul called on Calumet. Second foul on Scott Gowan. 3rd on the Crimson Wave. Jean-Luc Wilson is in. Wilson scored 5 points in 14 first-half minutes. Delshawn Sims' inbounds pass intended for Davis is intercepted. Calumet sets up on offense. Gowan for 3, good. And Calumet reclaims the lead. Right in the face of Aitor Anabadarte. Scott Gowan connects on his second 3-pointer of the game. 5 straight for Calumet. That's our 11th lead change. Joffrey Nunnally up top to Ramel Davis. Looking for Merrick Small, but it's picked off by Wilson. Calumet trying to seize control of this game. Majtunic steps into a long 3. And Calumet's got their biggest lead of the night. 42-38. They've scored the last 8 points. Delshawn Sims walks to the right. Bounce down low, Anabadarte. Aitor Anabadarte, tough turnaround, and he's fouled. It's going to take us to a quick break. 14:29 to play in the second half. St. Francis had taken a 4-point lead, Calumet College of St. Joseph has scored 8 in a row, and now they have their biggest lead of the night. 42-38 Calumet. Back with more in just a moment. Fighting Saints have gone over 2 minutes without scoring. During that time, Calumet has captured a 4-point advantage. Their three-point shooting remains strong, 7 of 17 from beyond the arc today. They've hit a pair of them already in this half. For St. Francis, three-point shooting, which is usually such a big part of their game, has long been absent. They have not hit a three-pointer in about 15 minutes of game time. In fact, they hit 3 of them in a row. They missed their first 3. They made their next 3 in a row. That's what put them on that 9-0 run that gave them a 6-point lead in the first half. And they've missed 3 in a row since then, but they were all a while ago. They haven't even attempted a three-pointer this half. Typically coming out of that first media timeout, Ryan Marks will go to his second unit today. He's just called on Nick Nego. Otherwise, the starters remain on the floor. Aitor Anabadarte didn't have a choice. He's at the free throw line. 2 shots for Anabadarte, 12 points, 6 rebounds for him today. He's 0 for 1 from the line. That's 50% now. He's 84 on the season. He gets to the line often. Big part of his game. He's taken more than double the amount of free throws of any player on Calumet's roster. He misses the second one here. He's just 1 of 3 at the line. That hung on the rim for a seeming eternity. 3-point game. Here's Gowan. Handoff to Slowinski. John-Luke Wilson, covered by Nick Nego. Majtunic drives under the basket, out to Gowan. In the corner, Majtunic, shot clock at 5. Majtunic against Nego, up with a right hand and in. Little running hook shot from Hervoye Majtunic. He's getting hot. Nick Nego answers on the other side with a 3. Nick Nego's second bucket of the game, first three-pointer for the Saints in almost a half of basketball. First three-point attempt in a long time. They needed it. Wiggins answers, and it's a 5-point lead for Calumet. Colby Wiggins has 12 points. Calumet red hot from beyond the arc. Aitor Anabadarte dribbles it off his foot, taken away. Here's the run for Wilson, out to Wiggins, trying another 3. This time it's short, and the rebound is grabbed by Nego. Saints need a bucket here. Down 5, tons of time. It's certainly not a hugely critical possession, but just for momentum's sake, it felt like they needed some points. Merrick Small comes up a little bit short. Majtunic gives it to Wilson. Down low, Slowinski working one-on-one with Anabadarte. Throws it off the back rim. Nego bounces to the wing, gives it to Nunnally. Merrick Small finds Delshawn Sims. Nunnally with the shot clock at 10. Small sets the screen for Sims. Delshawn Sims is hit on the floor by Scott Gowan. So with the shot clock running down to 5 seconds, the Saints weren't really going anywhere on that possession. They catch a break with the foul. And now Sims heads to the bench, along with Small and Anabadarte. Richardson, Fats, and Casper are in. Nick Nego is the inbounder. Saints trail by 5. This is the most they've been down by all game. It's been a seesaw affair. 9 ties, 11 lead changes. Nego over to Richardson. Back to Nick Nego, a deep three-pointer, rims out, and Ben Fatz is called for going over the back. Just the second foul of the half on St. Francis. Number 1 on Ben Fatz. Just under 12 minutes to play. 47-42 Calumet. Trying to deal St. Francis their second consecutive home loss. It would be the Saints' third loss in their last 4 home games. Going back to last month, late January. Slowinski misses on the reverse. Offensive rebound. Second chance, no. Third chance, knocked out of Slowinski's hands. So he missed one. Davis missed one. Taken away by the Saints, but taken right back by Calumet. And Colby Wiggins streaks to the rim with the layup. 49-42. Calumet is on a 15-4 run. Saints lost the ball down low. And it turns into quick points on the other end. Joffrey Nunnally pulls up for 2. Rattles around, does not fall. Crimson Wave possession. Nursing a 7-point lead and feeling good about themselves right now. Winners of 6 of their last 7 games. Trying to make it 7 out of 8 today. And in good position with under 11 to go. Nunnally knocks it away from Wilson. It's stolen. Saints force a big turnover. Calumet gets back quickly on defense. Richardson to the cutting Nick Nego. Nego lays it in. Second 2-pointer of the game for Nick Nego. Gave the number earlier. He's shooting 80% from 2-point range this year, 12 of 15. Almost 90% of his shots have been from beyond the arc. Slowinski backs in on Fatz, and Fatz is called for a foul.
St. Francis foul number 14, Ben Fatz, his second, team's third. Checking in for Cal St. Joe, number 0, Jared Hankins.
Jared Hankins back in the game for the Crimson Wave. He had a good first half. Scored 6 points in 9 minutes. First time we're seeing him since halftime. Mike Tunich nearly lost it, keeps the play alive. Wilson steps back behind the 3-point line, misses the 3-pointer. Ben Fatz grabs the rebound. Saints can pull back to within 1 score on this possession. Nego to Fatz, doesn't take a lot of threes, but he takes this one and misses it. Doesn't take a lot, certainly doesn't make a lot. He's only made 1 all season. It was just last week. Slowinski is fouled by Fatz. Got him in the air on the fake, and Fatz comes down on top of him. That'll take us to a break. 9:37 still to play in this game. Calumet will get free throws to try to extend their lead to 7 points on the other side of the timeout. 49-44 Calumet. Back in a moment. Calumet has a 5-point lead on St. Francis in a game that has gone back and forth a lot. Crimson Wave have been ahead for the last 5 minutes or so. They went on a 15-4 run. I guess they're still on a 15-6 run, but they've gone cold on offense. They've missed their last few. They've turned it over a few times. So have the Saints. St. Francis has turned it over 4 times so far in the second half. That's been a problem for them, but bigger problem has been their shooting. Calumet has forced them into some tough shots. Saints right now shooting just 40.5% from the field which is a full 10 points below their season average. So I said that Calumet would be shooting free throws coming out of the timeout. The officials disagreed. They said that foul was actually committed on the floor. So it's an inbounds play with 23 on the shot clock. Hankins fires the three and connects. I think the Saints would have preferred they were shooting free throws. Now an 8-point lead, biggest that either team has had all night. Jared Hankins has 9 points now. Aitor Anabatarte back on the floor, so is Ramel Davis. Joffrey Nunnally steps inside the three-point line, gives it to Davis in the paint, and Davis scores a big two. He's into double figures, 11 points for him. Aitor Anabatarte is the team leader with 13. Nunnally is called for the foul, reaching in on Jean-Luc Wilson. That's the 5th foul of the half on St. Francis.
St. Francis foul number 3, Joffrey Nunnally, his 3rd. Team's 5th.
3 fouls on him. Ben Fatz has committed 3 as well, all of them in the last 90 seconds. Don Joachim checks in for Joffrey Nunnally. Hankins hit that 3 on the last possession, guarded by Sean Richardson. Works his way inside and draws the foul against Richardson. That's on the floor, but it is the 6th on St. Francis, so they've hit their foul limit for the half. This will be the last one that does not result in free throws. And that'll be the last on Calumet that doesn't result in free throws. Foul called on Slowinski on the inbounds play. Correction on Jean-Luc Wilson on the inbounds play. So Calumet turns it over. Saints have the ball down 6. Anabatarte at the free throw line, fakes the shot, takes a dribble, gets inside and gets to the line. Fouled on the play by Hankins. Now we'll see if Anabatarte can straighten things out at the line. One of the best free throw shooters in the CCAC, but just 1 of 3 today. First shot from Anabatarte hits the rim and rolls in. His 14th point of the game, makes it a 5-point deficit. Now 52-48, 8:37 to play. Jean-Luc Wilson sets up the offense for Calumet. Over to Quindarius Davis. Hankins hands it back to Wilson. Hankins guarded by Davis. Majtunic has played well in the second half. He gets around Richardson on the screen, pulls up at the three-point line, 3 on the shot clock. Wilson works his way inside, no good off the backboard, and they'll call it a shot clock violation. Calumet's coaching staff is arguing that ball hit the rim. Didn't look like it from where I am, but they're a little bit closer than me. If it did hit the rim, the next question is who knocked the ball out of bounds? Because if it was St. Francis, then it would be Calumet ball with 20 to shoot. I didn't even notice, to be honest. I thought it did not hit the rim. I was just counting on a shot clock violation, but that's why we all need to be more attentive, starting with me. It's potentially a big call. St. Francis scored on the last possession. If they get a stop here, they get the ball back with a chance to make it a 1-score game, riding a little bit of momentum. If the ball goes back to the Crimson Wave, they get another opportunity to extend their lead, hold on to the ball for almost a minute. Not that you're clock watching at this point in a game as close as this one is. This is a really long discussion over what should be 2 simple questions. Did it hit the rim? And if yes, it's just one question if no. But if yes, the second question is who knocked the ball out of bounds? not a whole lot of judgment involved, so I'm not sure what they're talking over. But they're going to go discuss it with the head coaches of either team now. And we'll see who gets the ball. The other answer, I guess, would be if nobody was really paying attention, nobody knows what happened, then you probably just go to the possession arrow and it would be St. Francis ball. Calumet's walking back on defense, so it does appear as though it will be St. Francis possession. And again, a long talk with Ryan Marks. I'm very curious what they're talking about. It just seems to me like the conversation would be it hit the rim or it didn't hit the rim. I mean, maybe they're talking about something else now. It is St. Francis ball. I'm not criticizing, I'm legitimately curious. Sean Richardson walks it off towards the sideline, passes to Joachim, around a screen. Joachim, pass deflected, but Aitor Anabadarte keeps it alive for the Saints. Joachim to Davis. Davis drives on Slowinski, gets in close, layup is good. Ramel Davis has made some big plays these last few minutes. He pulls the Saints to within 2, 52-50, 7.5 minutes to play. Mike Tunic gives it to Slowinski at the three-point line. Backed up to Jean-Luc Wilson. Mike Tunic, deep three with Nigo in his face, rims out. Quindarius Davis comes flying in for the rebound and draws the foul. Nobody boxed out Quindarius Davis, and he gets himself to the free throw line in grabbing that rebound. Foul is called on Ramel Davis, on Quindarius Davis. And Davis will get an opportunity for one and maybe one more. Davis 53% from the line, so just a big maybe. And he makes it. So that does give him a second shot. 53-50 our score. 7:13 to play. Six points for Quindarius Davis. There's number 7. Sean Richardson walks it across half court. Offensive rebounds are playing a big part in Calumet winning this second half so far. 2 more second chance points right there as Nick Nigo misses the 3. Anabadarte tried to keep that one alive with an offensive rebound, but it's deflected over to Calumet. Off the hands of Hankins. The ball finds Jean-Luc Wilson at the top of the key. He misses the 3. Ball poked around and Davis grabs the rebound. It's Ramel Davis for St. Francis. Joachim in the corner, lobs down low. Anabadarte works underneath the basket, knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll stay here.
Out of bounds, it stays by the Saints.
Frenetic pace the last few minutes. This inbounds play will give the game a chance to breathe a little bit and give the Saints a chance to set up their offense. 20 to shoot. Richardson trying to find an opening. He can't, so he calls timeout. 6:33 on the clock. St. Francis still had 3 timeouts remaining. They use one up here on a well-defended inbounds play by Calumet. Crimson Wave continue to play tough defense in this game. We talked about the offensive rebounding and how crucial that's been for Calumet so far in this half. In the first half, they had 3 offensive rebounds. Turned that into 4 second chance points. Here in the second half, they've been able to grab 4 offensive rebounds, another 4 second chance points. They got a couple of big ones on the free throws a few minutes ago. And they are out rebounding St. Francis overall this half, 13-9. Been a big turnaround in the rebounding game. They were pretty close to even in the first half. Saints were +1. They're -4 here in the second half, and as a result, field goal attempts way up for Calumet. Crimson Wave have taken 19 shots in the half compared to 14 for St. Francis, and in a game that's this tight, Those 5 extra possessions are enormous. Four-point game. St. Francis trails, but they've got the ball coming out of the timeout with 6:33 on the clock. Richardson inbounds from the baseline. He's got Nigo, Joachim, Anabararte, and Davis on the floor with him. Inbounded to Nick Nigo, and the Saints pull it outside. Amel Davis jabs right, drives left on Jared Hankins, and draws the foul. Good drive by Davis. Davis, the senior from Miramar, Florida, was one of 6 seniors honored before the game today. 4 of them started. The only 2 who didn't are a couple of guys who haven't played this season. As Davis misses the first free throw. Gabe Amicon has been a student assistant for much of the season, suited up for today. And then Jalen Renault, who's been injured all year, was also honored, but he has not been able to play this season. The officials are talking something over. I think they're looking at a lane violation. No call has been made, just a good conversation, and now they have made the call. Lane violation, I believe, on Jared Hankins. So Davis missed the first free throw, but he'll get 2 more attempts. And a good job making up for the first miss, which will not go on his stat ledger. 54-51. Davis has 14, looking to match Aitor Anabararte's team high 15 with this free throw. Got them both, officially. 54-52, tight one. Coming down to the final 6 minutes. Jean-Luc Wilson bounces to Hankins. Hankins free in the post, gets the foul call. Anabararte doesn't like the call. Hankins looked like he was trying hard to draw the contact there. And it paid off in the sense that it got him to the free throw line, but I think he probably could easily have avoided Anabararte there and just had an open layup. Instead, he leaned into the defender away from the basket. And if he makes both free throws, it will all be for a good cause, but if not, it'll be a missed opportunity for him. He does make the first. 10 points for Hankins. Hasn't played big minutes tonight. Those 10 points have come in just 13 minutes off the bench. Hankins averages about 10.5 points per game, but a lot of that came earlier in the season. He hasn't been quite as active in conference play. Back to a 4-point game. Richardson gives it to Joachim. Around a screen, Don Joachim tries to get it off to Ramel Davis, but he throws it away. Majtunic on the other end lays it up and in. Off the steal. Calumet takes a 6-point lead. Quick 4 in a row for the Crimson Wave, and now the Saints need a bucket. Anabararte holds it on the outside, looks around and finds Ramel Davis, 12 to shoot. Davis crosses over on Slowinski, pulls up in the paint, doesn't get the roll. Rebound loose and secured by Hankins. Ahead for Majtunic. Majtunic's pass deflected by Anabararte and out of bounds. It'll stay with Calumet, 25 on the shot clock. Joffrey Nunnally comes in for Don Joachim. Majtunic lobs it into Hankins right around half court. Wilson guarded tightly by Nunnally. Drives to the right. Wilson all the way to the rim with the layup. Beautiful drive from Jean-Luc Wilson. Put it on the floor back near half court and got all the way to the basket. Sean Richardson finds the shooter in the corner. Nigo drains the 3. 10 points for Nick Nigo. Saints badly needed those points. And now they trail by just 5 with under 5 minutes to play. Deflected by Nunnally, chased down by Mytunich. No turnover from Calumet. They keep the possession going. 11 to shoot for Hankins. Mytunich gets the screen, pulls up, passes to Slowinski. Shot clock's at 3. Mytunich has to throw one up, off balance, off the backboard, no good. Saints force the stop. Now trying to convert on the other end. It's Davis keeping the dribble alive all the way in, missed the layup. Second chance is good. Impressive. Ramel Davis kept the dribble going. It looked like he was going to trip and fall, and somehow he didn't turn it over. And even though he missed his first attempt, he kept the possession going and gets the Saints to within 3 points. Timeout called by Calumet, 3:59 on the clock. The Crimson Wave are in front. They've been in front for about 12 minutes now. They have not been able to pull away. They've built their lead to as many as 8 points. St. Francis led by as many as 6. That was way back in the first half at 16-10. They made 3 consecutive three-pointers. Since then, they've only made 2 total. Calumet's hit 9 threes today. The Saints have hit 5. St. Francis shooting the ball much better of late. They're at 50% in the second half, but their problem, as I detailed during their last timeout, is the number of shots they've taken. Calumet is +6 in that category in this second half. And that has come as a result of offensive rebounds and forcing turnovers. They've had the advantage in both of those categories. This is coming down to the wire, though. St. Francis needs to win this one to keep their destiny in their own hands if they want to win the CCAC championship. A win today and another one on Saturday would clinch the conference championship. They could also clinch it tonight if they win and Indiana Northwest loses to Governors State, but Indiana Northwest has a double-digit lead at last check. So if both of these scores hold, Indiana Northwest will have come back to tie St. Francis in the standings. Big game today for the Fighting Saints. They trailed most of the second half after leading most of the first half. Calumet ball out of the timeout. They're able to get it into Scott Gowan. Ben Fat's back in for the Saints. Gowan fires a 3 and hits it. Gowan makes it a 6-point game on his 3rd made three-pointer of the game. Big bucket. Anabarte looking to answer for 2. No good on the jumper. And Calumet firmly in the driver's seat now. 3.5 minutes to play. They've got a 6-point edge. Gowan stripped by Fats, but he gets it right back. Puts it on the floor, spins inside around Nigo, misses at the rim. St. Francis needs some points here. Sean Richardson finds Joffrey Nunnally. Richardson from the top, bounces to the cutting Nick Nigo, another layup for Nigo. Nick Nigo's having a big game tonight. He has stepped up in some key moments, 12 points, 63-59 our score. Gowan lobs it down low and it's knocked away by Ben Fats. Here come the Saints off the turnover. Richardson is fouled. Not quite able to convert at the basket. He would have had a chance to make it a 3-point play, but he will get a free opportunity to make it a 2-point play. Gowan called for the foul from behind. Saints now in the double bonus, so they'll get a pair of free throws on all remaining fouls. Sean Richardson is the man shooting the free throws. Richardson has only been to the free throw line 12 times this year. He's made 9 of them. A big one right there. Saints have scored on 2 straight possessions with a takeaway in between. This would make it 4 straight points. (63-61). First half of this game featured 7 ties, 9 lead changes. Second half has been pretty much Calumet in control the whole way. We were tied at halftime. Crimson Wave have led by as many as 8 since then. Down to 2. Drive, the pass underneath, knocked away, and it's picked up by Anabararte. Sloppy pass from Mytunich, trying to get fancy in a moment where Calumet just needed to not make a mistake. Richardson gives it to Nunnally. Back to Sean Richardson. Saints can tie or take the lead here, neither of which they've had in a long time. Under 2 minutes to play. Nigo down low to Anabararte, working one-on-one with Slowinski. Shot clock running down. Anabararte turns around and ties the score. With 1 on the clock, he makes it 63 all. 17 for Anabararte, showing off the post moves. Final minute and a half coming up. Anybody's ball game here. Hervoye Mytunich outside, passes to his right. Jean-Luc Wilson. Wilson fires a 3. It's an air ball and out of bounds. Calumet has looked good for most of the second half. They have had some bad possessions down the stretch, and that was a really bad one. With 8 seconds still on the shot clock, Wilson took an off-balance contested 3-pointer off the dribble and missed it badly. And now St. Francis has a chance to take the lead. Nunnally to Nigo. Over to Richardson. Bounce down low. Anabararte one-on-one with Slowinski again. This time he spins around him, blocked out of bounds, but a foul called on Caleb Slowinski. And Anabararte can give the Saints the lead from the free throw line. 60 seconds to play. And St. Francis is trying to take their first lead in about 15 minutes of game time. First one misses. 38-36 was the last time they were ahead. Anabararte 17 points, 8 rebounds today. But he's been uncharacteristically inconsistent from the free throw line, just 3 for 6. One more chance, though, to put St. Francis on top. Calumet's gone cold offensively down the stretch. So even a 1-point lead would be big. They've got that 1-point lead now. And Calumet's trying to shake off the cobwebs. They have been slow offensively the last few minutes. It's been almost 3 minutes since they've scored. Saints need a stop. It's Gowan. Gowan crosses over, drives, gets inside, blocked by Anabararte. Gowan gets it back and lays it in. Great job by Scott Gowan sticking with it after he was initially blocked. Calumet by 1, and a timeout called by St. Francis with 40.9 showing on the clock. Another thriller here in Joliet. They've all been like this lately for St. Francis. Look at their recent home games. Their last one was 6 days ago against Governor State, a 1-point loss. Back on February 1st, they beat Olivet by 38, crossed that one off. But a 1-point win against Indiana Northwest, 74-73 on January 25th. So that's 2 of their last 4 home games coming into today have come down to the literal last second. And it looks like maybe another one today. A lot of one-possession games for the Saints this season. They've had a great year, 21-4 record. But those 21 wins haven't come easy. Some of them have, like that Olivet game I just mentioned, but most of them have been close. Joffrey Nunnally fires to Nigo in the corner. Three-pointer is good from Nick Nigo. Saints lead by 2, and Nigo comes up huge one more time. He's got 15 points. Less than a second separates the shot and game clocks. And a timeout called by Jason Hawkins. 67-65, St. Francis in front as these two teams trade baskets down the stretch. We've now had 10 ties, 14 lead changes in this game. Calumet led for about 15 straight minutes, but they went cold from the field. St. Francis heated up. And now, over the last minute, we've seen the lead change hands 3 more times. Nick Nigo has been huge for the Saints today. 3rd three-pointer. He's got 15 points in 20 minutes off the bench. And he just hit what will go down as the game winner if St. Francis can come up with a stop here. I guess if they come up with a stop and then hit their free throws on the other end, don't turn the ball over. But there's a lot of basketball still to be played. Shot clock is technically on, but it is, as I said, less than a second. So Calumet doesn't have to be in a hurry. They would like to get a shot off with enough time, number 1, to try to get a rebound if they miss it. Number 2, if they miss it, get a chance to at least get one more possession. So you wouldn't expect them to rush here. There's no reason for them to, but they certainly want to move quickly. They're not going to hold on for the next 15 seconds. Wilson inbounds to Slowinski. Slowinski working against Ben Fatts. Turnaround in the post. Tough shot. No good. The tip from Wilson misses. Gowan, 3rd chance, lays it in, and we're tied at 67. 7 seconds to go. Saints don't call timeout. They run with it. Richardson drives. Richardson out to Nunnally, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Saints with 0.4 of a second left. Calumet will try for a miracle finish here. Otherwise, we're headed for overtime. The buzzer sounded. It shouldn't have. Nobody ever touched it. The clock operator started it too soon. The ball went out of bounds on the pass, and had the clock not started, St. Francis would have an inbounds play right now from the sideline on the Calumet side of the floor with a chance to legitimately get a shot off in 0.4 of a second. But I think what the officials are going to say here is that because the buzzer sounded, everybody stopped moving, and so Calumet didn't actually go after the pass, and because of the inadvertent clock error, Calumet's going to get another chance to inbound. It's a big mistake by the clock operator, probably taking a chance from St. Francis away here in regulation. Now, I'm guessing it wouldn't have made a difference. It's tough to get a shot off in 0.4 of a second, regardless of where you are on the floor, but it's a huge break for Calumet. And so the Crimson Wave will get one more chance to inbound it here from the backcourt. And this time they send it to the backcourt. Gowan fires a 3/4 court 3. I think he got it off on time, but it's well short of the basket, and we are headed for overtime. So a wild end to this one. We saw 3 lead changes in the last minute. Calumet tied the score with 7 seconds left. St. Francis had a chance to win it in the closing seconds, but they turned it over. And then that weird mistake with the clock on that last play gets us into overtime. So 67 all, 5 minutes on the clock for OT. I'll be back with that in just a moment. Overtime here in Joliet. First overtime game of the year for St. Francis, which is kind of amazing. When you think about what I was just talking about a few minutes ago, they have played a lot of close ones that have come down to the very last possession. And yet here we are, first time in overtime. First time for Calumet as well. (67-67). 14 lead changes in this game. We've been tied 11 times, including at halftime and at the end of regulation. It'll be Annabeth Arte against Slowinski on the tip. Everybody's in position. We're ready to start overtime. Aitor Annabeth Arte leading both teams with 18 points. Colby Wiggins leads Calumet with 14, although we have not seen him much in a while. He's on the floor to start overtime. He's got the ball in his hands right now. Off to Gowan. Gowan had some huge shots down the stretch, including the tying bucket with 7 seconds left. Slowinski off the rim, no good. Annabeth Arte soars for the rebound. So the Saints get a stop on the opening possession of OT. Sean Richardson, Nick Nigo, both off the bench, playing big minutes down the stretch for St. Francis. This is Richardson, walking to the right, firing back to the left side. Annabeth Arte, guarded by Slowinski. Working his way down low, turnaround, good. Aitor Annabeth Arte, 20 points. St. Francis back in front. Jean-Luc Wilson bounces over to Slowinski. Slowinski puts it on the floor, kicks it outside to Wiggins. Wiggins steps outside, 11 to shoot. Guarded by Richardson. Wiggins drives, pull up, jumper, good, we're tied. So each team has one bucket here in overtime. Nigo lobs it for Davis. Davis kicks it out to Sean Richardson. Open three, air ball. Annabeth Arte grabs the rebound. Worked out pretty well for Richardson after all, just like an assist. Richardson, not much of an outside shooter, but he was wide open, decided to take the chance. Didn't work the way he planned, but he's happy with the outcome. Annabeth Arte has all 4 of St. Francis's points in overtime. Wilson drives around Richardson, gets to the rim, and draws the foul. .252 to play. St. Francis 71, Calumet College of St. Joseph 69. 3 fouls on Aitor Annabeth Arte. Ben Fatz and Joffrey Nunnally each have 3 as well. Foul trouble for Calumet. Guy to watch out for is Scott Gowan. He's got 4. The first free throw is good for Wilson. Calumet 12 of 13 as a team from the free throw line today. Team that shoots under 70% for the season, they have stepped it up in this one. Wilson makes them both. We are tied yet again. Annabeth Arte hands it off to Sean Richardson, and Richardson beats the 10-second clock across half court. Nunnally coming around the screen, bounces down low. Ramel Davis inside, bounces it in. Ramel Davis has 19 points. 73-71, more than halfway through the overtime period. Gowan steps back, a long 2 for the tie, got it to go. Scott Gowan was relatively quiet for most of this game, but he has made play after play down the stretch. 15 points now to tie the score at 73. Nick Nigo Finds Ramel Davis. Davis spins into the paint. Blocked from behind by Slowinski. It'll stay with the Saints. 11 on the shot clock. St. Francis has not trailed in the overtime period. Bounced in for Davis, and he's fouled by Gowan. That's number 5. Ramel Davis can give St. Francis the lead from the free throw line. And Gowan, who's been the Crimson Wave's biggest playmaker down the stretch, is done for the day. That brings Quindarius Davis back in. Davis can put the Saints back on top. He does with the first one. One more shot coming. Ben Fatz and Don Joachim getting set to come in on defense for St. Francis if Davis makes this free throw. Got them both, 75-73. Again, the Saints have not trailed in overtime. They've not led by more than 2, though. Every time they've scored, Calumet has come back and responded. Scott Gowan with 15 points is now off the court. Hankins is back in. Hankins has had a big offensive game for the Wave as well. Three-pointer from the corner, rims out. A big miss on a good look from Hervoye Maitunic. And now St. Francis can take a 2-score lead coming down to the final minute. Sean Richardson with the left hand puts it on the floor, passes off to Don Joachim. Hand off to Anabararte, 5 on the shot clock. Anabararte drives, lays it in, and gives the Saints a 4-point edge. Under a minute to play. Calumet needs some points here. Biggest lead for St. Francis since it was 38-34. Wiggins steps back behind the 3-point line. Kicks it to Maitunic. Down to the corner, it's Hankins. Hankins spins, shoots, misses. Offensive rebound, Slowinski. Second chance, got it. And we've got a 2-point game with 39 seconds on the clock. Timeout Calumet. Big bucket right there. Second chance points have been one of the headlines in this one for Calumet. They've got 14 of them. 10 of those since the end of the first half. 16 points for Wiggins leads the way for Calumet. They got 15 from Gowan, who went 3 of 4 behind the 3-point line, but fouled out just a couple of moments ago. They've also had double-digit performances from Hankins and Hervoye Maitunic. For St. Francis, Aitor Anabararte has another double-double. His second in a row, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Matching his numbers from Saturday's win against Judson. For Anabararte, it's the 3rd consecutive 20-point game. The other guys who have stepped up for the Saints today, Ramel Davis, 21 points, including a big 4 of them in overtime. He's also got 6 assists. And Nick Nigo came in off the bench. He has put 15 points on the board, including the 3 that gave St. Francis the lead in the final minute of regulation. Saints ball coming out of the timeout. Calumet will put on a full court press. They could play this possession out if they want to. If they get a stop, St. Francis runs down the whole shot clock. Calumet would get the ball back with plenty of time. But if they don't foul, they run the risk of getting the ball back down by 2 scores. First things first, they're trying to force a 10-second call. They can't do it. Saints get it across half court, and there's the foul immediately on the other side of the timeline. So that was the play from Jason Hawkins. Try to get the steal in the backcourt, try to force a 10-second call. And if the Saints get it across half court, foul immediately. 27.9 to go. Sean Richardson at the line. He's hit both of his free throws so far today. 5 points in the game for him. (11 of 14 from the line this year. And he makes that one, 78-75. His second shot is huge. It would make it a 2-possession lead for St. Francis. Joachim back in for defense for the Saints. Richardson's free throw misses. Still a 1-score game, 78-75. Calumet's top 3-point shooter is on the bench, fouled out. Intercepted by Anabadarte, but he runs into the back of his teammate. Colby Wiggins for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound tipped around, Anabadarte grabs it, and he's fouled. Aitor Anabadarte came up with an apparent steal, but Don Joachim was right in front of him as he pulled that ball down, and Anabadarte ended up running right into Joachim's back, losing the ball right back to Calumet. And that set up another chance for the Crimson Wave. Wiggins got an okay look at it, but he misses the 3. And Anabadarte can put it away from the free throw line. First shot misses. Free throw shooting has been an advantage for Calumet today. The Saints are actually +7 in points on free throws, but they've shot it at a much lower percentage. They've missed 6 of them. Calumet's only missed 1. They're 13 of 14. Anabadarte makes the important one. He had to make 1 to make it a 2-possession game. Wilson for 3, no good, and that should do it as Slowinski lays it in to make it a 2-point game, but that's not enough as St. Francis comes away with a 79-77 victory in a hard-fought game today at the Sullivan Center. Saints led most of the first half. Crimson Wave led most of the second half, but St. Francis fought back in the final minutes of the second half. They forced overtime, and they're able to outdo Calumet by 1 basket in the overtime period. 79-77 the score, and that means St. Francis can indeed guarantee themselves a conference championship with a win on Saturday at St. Xavier. What a game today, again here at home. This is the 3rd time in the last 5 home games that it has come down to the closing seconds. The Saints come up with a 2-point victory. Calumet playing some good basketball right now. They are not a team anybody wants to see right now in the conference tournament. They will likely have the 6th seed in that conference tournament, but they won 6 consecutive games. They just saw that streak end over the weekend against Governors State, a 3-point loss, and today they lose by 2 points. So in their last 8, they're 6-2, and their 2 losses have been by a combined 5. They were led today by Colby Wiggins with 16 points. Scott Gowan had 15. J. Caleb Slowinski had 6 points, 12 rebounds. For St. Francis, Aitor Anabadarte carried the day once again. 25 points, 11 rebounds, an awfully impressive double-double for Anabadarte, who went 10 of 13 from the field. Ramel Davis stepped up in regulation and in overtime. 21 points, 6 assists for Davis. He went 8 of 8 from the free throw line. And Nick Nigo came off the bench with 15 points today for the Fighting Saints, including 3 to give them the lead in the closing seconds. The Crimson Wave were able to get 2 of those points back to force overtime, but they were not able to handle things in overtime as the Saints come away with a 2-point victory. Shot 48% from the field today. Calumet 42%. With the win, St. Francis improves to 22-4 overall this year, 16-3 in conference with 1 game to go. They are guaranteed at least one more home game this year. They will play round 1 of the conference tournament at home next week. Whether or not they'll have the 1 seed will come down to Saturday. If they win that one, they will have a conference championship. If they lose on Saturday to St. Xavier, they could still secure the conference championship if Indiana Northwest loses. But they'd rather take care of business themselves, get that victory. Go to GoFightingSaints.com for all the information you need on the upcoming conference tournament. That'll be next week. Again, our final score here in overtime, St. Francis 79, Calumet 77. It's going to do it from Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to talk to you again very soon. Until then, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good night.